this year you go through these 3 really tough games, then you've got Rutgers at the end of this. So is it accurate to say that this was a challenge emotionally, this game?
Yeah, I think the emotional challenge that I think was different from last year for us that we had never really faced as a team before was coming off of 3 hard games but suffering 2 losses back to back. That was something last year. We had 2 losses all of last year, but they weren't back to back. So that was something for us as a team. Having those 2 losses back to back, to have to bounce back this week, and having 2 weeks where it's kind of close losses, kind of real defeating, and everyone's going back looking at the tape. I wish I did this, could have done, woulda, shoulda, coulda, all that over the last couple of weeks, and then to come in this week and have to put all that behind you and get a win, and that was kind of the main emphasis this week was nothing else matters besides winning this week, and that was kind of the team goal, and that was what we were all oriented around this week.
You say things sometimes in those circumstances, don't you? And did you this time, or did you just try to treat it like another game?
Just a little bit more emphasis on, hey, we just need to focus on what we can control. All we need to do is win this week, and that's the only thing that matters, because if we didn't win this week, we're just going to go right back into that whole, that I guess, ditch of just what we do, woulda, shoulda, coulda again. So it was really just, emphasizing what the coaches were saying.
You said things?
Yeah, just really just re-emphasizing the coaches. Okay. Yeah.
Trace, can you take us through the hook and lateral? We saw that in practice. Did you shelve it after it was mentioned on TV, or did you realize it was mentioned on TV for the Michigan game?
We knew it was mentioned on TV, but we were just kind of waiting for a time. I don't think you'd have to ask Jomo about that, why he decided to shelve it for a couple weeks. And we've had it for the last few weeks. I know Jomo's been wanting to call it, so it just ended up coming out this week.
Can you take us through that play?
Yeah, for me, it's pretty simple. Just take a couple steps, get it, throw ham, catch the ball. They did a really good job. Kind of as we were coming in, we knew that we had a free blitzer off the edge. So pointed him out, Saquon, he just had to go kind of bluff him, give him a hit, and escape and get out clean. So then, other than that, for me, it was just throw a clean ball to Deshaun, and then just kind of fall behind in case there was any kind of issue with the pitch. But and then Saquon got in and jumped over the guys, and that was cool for my fans.
Trace, what do you say to people? I've heard this before, that you're in a position, you guys have 2 losses. It's going to be very difficult to repeat as conference champs, probably not national champs. What do you have to play for? I know you'll have a different answer to that, but what do you say to those people and say, well, they have nothing to play for? What do you say?
As a competitor, you're going out to win every single week, and that's our team. That's kind of our team goal. Is it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, what kind of everyone else is, the playoffs or Big Ten, whatever it is. Like, we just need to come in and win and compete, and that's kind of the main voice that Coach Franklin's kind of been giving off. And that's something that as the captains, as the leaders on the team and on offense, we've been really trying to just push that. Like, listen, that's all that matters. Is we need to come out, compete, do everything we can during the week to win the game, and at the end of the day, all the other stuff will kind of fall out. But all the other stuff that would need to happen, would not need to happen, whatever there is, blah blah blah. That's all out of our control. All we can do is come in and compete and try to win each game.
Trace, how much of a difference was the discussion about back alignment the last couple of weeks to change that up, going pistol, empty, motion people back and forth? How much of a that focus this week?
Not too much. Kind of, it was a little bit of a wrinkle that we felt we could kind of do. Felt some teams were kind of keying on our back alignment as far as where to set the front and being able to maybe get like a run or pass read off of it. So we just kind of decided to try and change it up. If we just align them there, they can't get an initial read off of it.
Right.
And then being able to run a couple plays out of it, I think is something that was good for us, because then teams can't automatically say he's lined here, we more chance to run this way, whatever. So for us to kind of have that little bit of a wrinkle, I think is good.
When did you first have that realization? Do you remember? In the last couple of weeks, like teams might be keying on this?
And we knew, even since last year, we knew teams would kind of key on where to set fronts or where to bring pressures based off of the back, and that's kind of where some of the our motions and stuff kind of help to kind of be able to not give it away. We're just lining up and playing, being able to line up an empty run plays from there. It's almost that similar thought process, just having him line up straight behind me.
I imagine I know how you're going to answer this question, but in theory, next week could be your last game at Beaver Stadium. If you wanted to go pro, where are you in that decision-making process? Have you always assumed you're coming back for your senior year?
I mean, for me, that's something that I'll have to cross that bridge when I'm at the end of the season. So haven't thought too much about it, honestly. That'll be something that I'll cross the bridge with the coaches, I guess, whenever we get to that spot.
Trace, let me ask you about your teammate over here, Saquon. When defense is keying on him, just how much does it help you and this passing offense to succeed on the game?
I mean, it helps us a lot. I mean, it's frustrating because we all want to want to see him have success in the running game, and we know we have a really good running attack, and we want that to be successful. But with how teams are kind of playing us, last couple of games, selling out to stop Saquon and stop the run, and leaving us with one-on-one matches, playing man-to-man, or giving us easy access throws. We know we kind of just got to take those, and our guys on the outside, we're extremely confident in them. They're extremely confident in themselves, and we're confident in our offensive line to be able to block as long as it takes for us to be able to push the ball down the field and take shots, or be able to kind of if we got to dink and dunk down the field, take easy throws, whatever it might be. So. It's something that kind of is almost a double-edged sword. You feel like we really want this running game to get going, but if teams are going to sell out, I mean, there's no sense in jamming a square peg into a round hole. If that's what if teams are going to give us a pass, that's something that we got to be willing to take.
And teams that are rather Saquon Barkley is obviously in the race for the Heisman. That's something obviously you guys would like to see him earn. What would be your message to the guys who vote on this? He hasn't had big numbers the last 3 games. If you could say anything to the guys who vote on the Heisman, with Barkley, what would you tell them?
I mean, I'd say there's no more dynamic player in college football. I mean, the numbers might not have been there the last couple of weeks, but there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that, I think some of the voters might not see or realize what he's doing for our team. The value he brings, it's undescribable. And then aside from his athletic ability and what he can do as a playmaker, and there's a reason why teams are committing 8-9 guys to the box because of the type of dynamic player he is. So I mean, that's just kind of how it's played out the last couple of weeks. But I mean, there's no more player deserving in the nation, and that's not a knock to anyone else. I mean, I know Saquon, I'm with him all the time, but I mean, the dude's he's an athletic freak. I mean, there's no more dynamic player in the country, in my opinion.
What do you think do you know how he feels when there's so many people keying on him all the time that there's guys hitting him a lot of times 4, 5, 6 yards back in the back? How does he react, and how do you think he feels after those hits?
I mean, for him, he wants every play to be a touchdown, and he's giving his all in every single play. So I mean, when things aren't there, like any competitor, it's gonna get a little frustrating at times. But he knows that you just gotta kind of, that's how the game's going. You just gotta stick with it, and trust it, and trust the offensive line, trust the blocks, trust the calls, and then just trust in his ability. And eventually, we're gonna get those plays.
Is he cognizant that his body language is reflected and that people are watching him, of how he's going to handle those things? You think he's cognizant that he's being watched by his teammates?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, for him, as he knows he's a leader on this team and as a captain, that his body language is reflected throughout the team. Guys start seeing Saquon get down. To us, he's the best player in college football. So if that guy's getting down, that's just going to kind of feed to a lot of the other guys on the team.